Rodrygo gives Real Madrid a lifeline 10 minutes from drowning. Let's go ahead and analyze this clash of titans between Inter and Real Madrid. What's up, guys? Welcome back to El Merengue Culé. As you can see, unfortunately, I wasn't able to do a live reaction. My test ran a little bit too late. However, we're still going to be analyzing this game. And let's get started with the lineup that Real Madrid jumped out there and that Zidane chose, which was exactly identical to the lineup that I predicted in that pregame analysis, which we would be seeing Lucas Vázquez on the right side and Eden Hazard start for the first time in the Champions League this season. And, well, that first half was probably the better of the two for Real Madrid. Real Madrid jumped out there, hungry, pressing, taking shots. They were eating Inter up. They came very close to scoring a goal with a great play from Eden Hazard that drops it back to Asensio, who shoots it, but Handanovic gets a great save on it. There was also chances from Valverde, and Real Madrid was unlucky not to go up. However, it was not all Real Madrid that first half, as Inter also had a merit in which Vidal almost scored, and even Lautaro Martinez almost grabbed himself a goal. But Courtois, yet again, adding on to the wonderful performances he's having this season, comes up with a huge save to deny Lautaro in probably like 20 minutes, 15 minutes into the game, something like that, before Real Madrid put on the beginning of their show. And at last, late into the 20th minute, Real Madrid continues to put on great pressure on Inter that forces them to lose the ball. Benzema takes a hand of the ball and basically taps it, dribbles past Handanovic, who's coming out very violently, and slots it back into the back of the net. And that gave Real Madrid the 1-0, but Real Madrid did not stop there. They were hungry, and they kept on going, and they were rewarded for it. As only a few minutes later, minute 32, only, like I said, like 4 or 5 minutes from that goal, Real Madrid gets a corner, and who else other than your man, your captain, Sergio Ramos, who leaps up in the air to head that ball into the back of the net. Obviously, Inter didn't do their homework on it like other La Liga teams have already done so. So, obviously, that's going to go back and punish Inter. Unfortunately, Real Madrid was not 100% focused when Inter kicked off, as only 2 to 3 minutes later, Inter finds himself scoring their first goal of the game. However, I don't know if it's completely Real Madrid messing up and more merit to Inter, as Varela, a great player that Inter has discovered the past few seasons, gets a beautiful back heel pass to Lautaro Martinez, who shows his class, basically botting off Rafa Varane and slotting it into the back of the net. And obviously this goal came at a really bad time for Madrid because they were on a high, right? And so this completely stops their progression, their momentum, and it's basically a punch in the face. And now it's like, well, how's Madrid going to respond from this moment, right? And unfortunately, not much else happened the rest of that first half. However, we came into the second half trying to see how Real Madrid was going to respond from that punch back from Inter. And unfortunately, it wasn't the greatest of responses. We saw Madrid that was pretty slow on the ball. They lacked that transition from defense to the midfield, and that was especially necessary because Inter went out there like freaking mad dogs. They were pressing to every ball. Anytime a Madrid defender had the ball, you saw 3-4 Inter defenders, or basically attackers, pressing on that ball to force a mistake, kind of like Real Madrid did on that first goal that they got. And Real Madrid was able to weather the pressure, and that's how Real Madrid does, right? They let other teams press them. They know when the other team is pressing, and they allow to do it. They weather the pressure until that team can no longer do it, and then Madrid counters. However, in those dying minutes, just when Inter looked like they were losing that breath, and Conte was about to sub out Perisic, Inter finds a goal in which Perisic does a great job botting Lucas Vázquez. In my opinion, Lucas Vázquez probably could have done a little bit better. He did try to block the shot, and unfortunately didn't get the block, and the ball ends up in the back of the net, which basically rewarded Inter for all the pressure, all the pressing that they had done since the first half started. That was minute 68, which came at a time that Lucas Vázquez had almost scored right before that to give us that 3-1. And guys, imagine if Real Madrid would have been able to score the 3-1 right when Inter is at the peak of their pressure. Okay, but we can't get caught up in the what ifs. Inter scored, it was 2-2, and Real Madrid had an uphill battle to climb right there. Because at that moment, a tie, while it would not, it's in the end, it's not a complete sentence to Real Madrid's hopes. It very much nearly left us out of the Champions League with very, very, very tough chances to climb back into it. So we had to go and find that goal, which obviously we saw Real Madrid that definitely improved. One, it came with Inter finding a little bit of fatigue from all the pressure they had been doing, and 2 from Real Madrid actually trying to press. Quickly, Zidane made a couple subs, taking out Hazard and Asensio. Hazard, who I don't believe he had the best of games, a bit quiet here and there. But however, Vinicius and Rodrygo brought a lot of pace to the team. And, well, we actually got a little bit lucky. Because Inter, even though, yes, they did get a little bit tired from that high press that they did from the beginning of the game, they still continued to be good on the ball, right? They were still creating dangerous opportunities on Real Madrid and nearly scored that third goal via Lautaro Martinez, who would have put the nail in the dagger for Madrid, who was still, I mean, while they were playing better than they were right at the beginning of that second half, we're still struggling to create clear opportunities. And it wasn't until minute 80 that Vinicius Jr. utilizes that pace of his and shows the world that he can pass the ball by pinpointing a pass to Rodrygo, who comes in out of nowhere, gets a perfect touch, great class on that touch, and then the finish even better. Slotting that, powering that shot into the back of the net. Guys, I burst out. I wish I had that part recorded. I was ecstatic at that Rodrygo because I knew what it meant for Real Madrid. And now Real Madrid had to hold on to that lead, in which they almost scored the 4-2. But Karim Benzema went back to his old self from 3, 4, 5 years ago and missed a sitter right, probably 2-3 yards in front of the goal. That would have been it, guys. That would have been the 4-2. However, thankfully, Real Madrid was able to lock it down. Inter didn't really get that many other close chances after that, and Real Madrid was able to slow down the game, hold possession. Modric came in and definitely helped us pause the game and slow it down a little more. And in the end, Real Madrid takes the 3 points against an Inter in a game that was very tricky. Guys, if you didn't watch this game, Real Madrid could have easily walked out of this one with a loss or a tie. So I think one of the biggest things to take out of this game is how a single moment can change everything, right? Inter was so close to scoring that third goal that would have just, like I said, put the nail in the coffin for Real Madrid. And out of nowhere, Real Madrid found themselves a counterattack that Vinicius Jr. was able to find Rodrygo very well to score that 3-2. So it just goes to show the little moments. And now where this goal leaves us, in which we're now third place with 4 points after Borussia Mönchengladbach went and demolished Shakhtar. Literally made them look like they don't belong in the Champions League, beating them 6-0. Absolutely bizarre, because I felt like Shakhtar had been playing pretty good. They didn't play bad against Inter, and obviously they beat Madrid, which just goes to show how bad Madrid played that game. If Mönchengladbach was able to go beat them 6-0, Madrid should be beating them, no questions asked. Honestly, after seeing that score, I was a little bit pissed at Real Madrid for not having beat them, or at least gotten a tie out of it, because it holds us back so much. However, this win is huge for us and puts us in the driving seat to qualify to the next round of the Champions League. We're obviously going to be playing Inter once again at the San Siro in Italy, and that's yet again going to be another very tricky game that the win is going to be quite imperative, and we're obviously going to need to beat either Mönchengladbach and Shakhtar to advance. I believe once again that Real Madrid has enough potential to go and beat all 3 teams in that second round of the Champions League. But it's definitely going to take a lot of focus, because these 3 teams have shown us that on any given day, they will capitalize if you don't come out there focused. Guys, go ahead and smash that like button down below if you're ecstatic about this Real Madrid win and the chances that it gives us to advance to the next round in the Champions League. However, it's shout out time, and I'm sure there's 4 people out there that have been waiting for this moment. Yes, we have had 4 people correctly predict that Real Madrid was going to win this game 3-2. Starting off with Ayush Lamsal. Next up, we have Kevin Roy. Said Hazard was going to get a hat-trick. Not quite. However, you still get a shout-out. Next up, the next 2 people have predicted their second game for Real Madrid correctly and are now topping the leaderboards. First up, we have Vedant Ingole, and next up, we have Schmidt Save. So you 2 are closest, taking the lead towards that jersey at the end of the season. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you smash the like button down below. Go check out all of our other videos. I'll be seeing y'all this weekend for the Real Madrid against Valencia game. As always, I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and a la Madrid.